You are watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftakademy.com. www.netsoftakademy.com.
So now let's start with installing or creating a new Windows client machine. So for that, I'm going to create a new virtual machine. Next, next, next. Now, instead of Windows Server, I'll just be selecting Windows 11 x64. Next. This machine name is Nita WKST02. Next. Now, I'll be entering the password here. Password 1350. Password 1350. Ensure that only the files that need TPM support are encrypted. All the others are not encrypted. Okay. Next. Now you see I cannot choose BIOS. I can only choose UEFI. So I'll just leave it at UEFI. Next. Next. So I'm going to give this 4 GB. Okay. Next. NAT. Next. Next. SCSI. Next. Next. Now store the virtual disk as a single file. Now let me assign. Let's say I said 320 GB at the moment. Next, next, finish. Now that is one of the things is because it is not pre-allocating the size. We are just defining the size. So this can always work. You can choose whatever number you want as long as it is in the same range or as long as it is in the same zone. Now, before we start, I'm going to mount the Exchange, the Windows 11 ISO, and I'm also going to do one extra thing. So on the ISO front, I'm going to mount the Windows 11 ISO. So it's on this PC, System C, Labs, ISOs, Windows 11, Education 24H2. Okay, open. Okay. And one extra thing that I'll be doing here is I'll be disconnecting my NAT at power on. I'll tell you why. I think you already know why. You're already seeing the reason why we do what we do here. Sometimes one or two of these things is very important. So you need to make sure that this is all set up correctly. Now in my case, what happened was it did not take the input, and then it just decided to kind of get a little bit lost because I was not clicking on the right place. I was clicking somewhere outside over here. And that is why it worked, or that is why it did not work for me. But I managed to get it in, and here we are. So we will be proceeding. The installation process is the same as the Windows Server earlier. It's the same interface now, which is the best part. I agree. Next. Windows 11 Education. Next. Now, again, remember that this virtual machine has to be installed properly, and we would like it to be installed in the same way, in the same predictable manner that we install the other virtual machines at. So that is important for us here. And install. So now I'll be waiting for this machine to complete its installation cycle. Once it is installed, then we'll look at the next steps. So after the restart and everything, we are here. Click on yes. For the region as United States, yes. Keyboard layout United States. Click on skip. And this is where us turning off the network adapter comes handy, because you have this option, I don't have internet. Now, this would then lead you to a domain joined account. Now, ideally, you could have your network adapter and you could do this. Now, honestly, I would say it's a good idea to follow the book instructions on this one, because when you get a new ISO, you download it from the internet or something, the instructions can vary a little bit. So keep that in mind. So I'm putting the username as Nita admin here. Password 1350. Password 1350. Now security questions, I'm just going to put the answer as Nita for now. Don't worry about the security questions, because let us hope if anything goes wrong, we can always delete the machine and start all over again. That is one benefit of using virtual machines. Now, me being me, I'm going to turn off everything because it doesn't matter if I give it or not anyway. Because we're being going to be completely offline, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so while this is happening, I'm going to quickly go to the virtual machine settings and I'm going to turn on the NAT adapter now. I'm going to connect the NAT adapter because after this we are going to need it. We are going to rename the virtual machine, then we are going to install VMware tools, we are going to turn off the firewall, and then we are going to change the IP address and do the domain join. So 5 things exist on this virtual machine right now, or 5 tasks exist for us to do on this virtual machine. And all of those should be like that quick. All right, so we'll wait for it to load up, and once it is loaded up, then we will work with the next parts. All right, so the virtual machine has started. Now, first thing I'll do is I'll click on settings and click on rename right under here. Now this will be Nita WKST02. Next. Now once I do this, this will ask to restart. Now you could restart once or you could restart for every single time. Now I'm not going to restart right away. I'm going to install the VMware tools as well. Make sure that that entire part is done and then have my entire restart done in one go. You can see that my network is connected here. Now wait, it's still going to take a few seconds. It is still loading things up in the background. And also the memory also matters. Windows 11 is notorious for being a little bit slow to run. It is notorious for that. All right, you see this, yes. Okay, I'll wait for it to pop up. It takes time. That's the only bad or sad part about this. That it takes a little bit of time initially after we set it up because it is difficult to set up. Or it is time consuming to set up. There's 2 words for it, if I'm being quite honest. Now, you see, on the server, it took us a little bit less time than this, but here it takes a little bit longer because all the background services, all the overlays, all the GUI components and UI UX components that have to be loaded up in the background are way too much. And also we have 3 virtual machines running and 3 virtual machines literally on hold here, they are on suspend here. And that does make or break the entire thing. It is quite a significant amount of computational load. So make sure that while you're doing these labs, that you have enough resources in the tank to actually make it work for you. Otherwise, you could end up with a little bit of a limping horse situation. All right. Wait for the setup to complete, and once it completes, we'll just restart the machine. Then we will change the IP, we'll disable the firewall, and then we'll install, by the way, we'll install Google Chrome on this machine and then domain join the machine. That way we can do everything at one go. Yeah, it's okay. Let's be honest that sometimes it gets a little bit too much in terms of understanding and remembering what exactly we are doing. But remember that we are setting up one Exchange environment, then we are setting another, then we are setting another. All of this is just so that we can easily make our entire environment setup easier than we can. And virtual machines are a great tool for that. We need to appreciate virtual machines more. Okay, so I'm going to do what I need to do. That is, first on display settings, I'm going to make the scale a little bit higher so that I can actually show you what I don't have to zoom in on this because the zooming in part is where it all gets all wacky out of form here. So, okay. First things first, I'll click on start, click on ncpa.cpl, look for ncpa.cpl, open ncpa.cpl, right click, properties, Internet Protocol version 4. Now, this machine would be running 172.16.10.40, 3 255s. The gateway is 172.16.10.1. And the preferred DNS server is 172.16.10.20. Okay, this is done. Next thing, I'm going to look for Windows Defender Firewall with advanced security. Now we are going to turn off the entire thing. So let's just click on properties here and turn everything to off. All settings to off. All three profiles, public profile, domain profile, personal profile, all of these to off and configure it. Now, next I'm going to mount the apps ISO file here. I'm going to mount the apps ISO file here. And once I have the apps, I'm going to install Google Chrome on this VM. And then I'm going to do the domain join. Okay, let's open this. Google Chrome. Okay. Google Chrome 109.0.5414.20. Now, remember one thing, that certain ISOs that I have and certain ISOs that you have could be completely different from each other. It's okay. Just follow the general steps and make sure that you are not doing everything, or you're not flexible enough to adjust to a few steps here and there. Because you will have those kind of situations wherein certain steps are completely different. There is a night and day difference between the steps. And that is going to drive you a little bit nuts in terms of how quickly things in IT change. But that is the beauty of it as well. All right, so my Google Chrome is installed as well. That's perfect. Now comes the next part, that is domain joining. So I go to the File Explorer, go to this PC, right click this PC, click on Properties. So I'm here, click on Domain or Workgroup, click on Change, select Domain, netsoftakademy.com. Enter. If everything is set up as planned, ideally, we should be able to communicate with ADDS02 and then do it. Now, there could be, you see, it isn't able to contact. So, there are few reasons why this could happen, and this might happen to you as well. Reason number one, that you got the IP address wrong, like I did. So, it was supposed to be 60. It was supposed to be 60 because we already have 40. So, we can't have two machines with the same IP address. So, a small fix like that for typos is all it takes. So, now going back, domain or work group, change. Now, does anybody feel that I did this on purpose, or I did not even realize that it happened, or I was so busy talking that I did not realize that I made this mistake? If anybody thought that I did not know that this was happening, then you are absolutely correct. You get 100 points because it did happen because I was talking and I was telling you about the IP addresses and everything else. So I'm going to restart this machine now. So at this point, all of my machines are domain joined, they're connected, the entire infrastructure is set up. And that also concludes my lab here. That also concludes lab number 42 here. Now, after this lab is where things start to get interesting. So please stay tuned and I'll see you in the next lab.
Thank you for watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftakademy.com. www.netsoftakademy.com.